March 21st, 2023 meeting of the Manchester Planning and Zoning Commission will now come to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of the January 17th, 2023 minutes. You should all have a copy of those minutes in your package. Take a look at those and read them. See if you have any changes or comments.
I see no problem. I like to recommend we approve these minutes as read.
We have a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next, zoning administrator's report. I see Michelle's not here, so Alex, you'll be taking care of that for us tonight.
Good evening, Commission members. I'll take care of the zoning and the town manager report. After our meeting recently with the county stormwater management folks and Equine Meadows, they seemed to have worked out some stormwater management issues, and just recently we got the plans for resubmittal. Okay. So the plan is before the county, waiting for theirs. It's also important to note that the development and the off-site stormwater management issues have been combined as one project. So there is before, I know Steve had mentioned they were looking at getting the off-site work done while they were proceeding through development review, but that has been combined into one. Okay. And so that's working through its way at the county.
Which is what we preferred anyways. We didn't want them moving ahead with that other stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
So at the last town council meeting, the annexation from Patapsco 9-1 LLC was approved by the town council. So it's on to the county level and the state level for review. So on March 29th, myself and the attorney representing Patapsco 9-1 will be in front of the County Planning Commission for the first of 3 meetings over the next month as all those agencies give their review. Okay. And then eventually, as we know from our previous annexations, the final will come out of the commissioners' meeting. In front of you, you have a large packet. It is the updated version of the Old Town Traffic Study to include Charmill Drive. I have reviewed a lot of it. It does not look like it has changed too much. It just does add in the traffic patterns and other things that were required based on the RFP for the traffic study. Again, it is very heavy, very in-depth. So at your leisure, you may want to read it and go from there.
Did they have a summary page in here?
They did in the first, I think, like page 14 or 15. It gives the summary and recommendations. Okay. I would also tell the commission in that area are 2 maps with res development overlay. The 2 proposed, one if the traffic is a T intersection, and the other if it comes out just north of the Maple Grove intersection, which I know Mr. Hill had proffered before. Right. So they are in there in the comments, and it gives you a really good look at the Old Town development through the traffic study. Okay. Some town issues. The water loop and line replacement projects are going well. The company that we hired to do that work is working very diligently, so we're doing real well with getting all that done, and they are moving along smoothly. The solar projects, Maverick Solar 1 project is working through some stormwater management issues with the county. Mm-hmm. They don't see too many issues with it, but that's if you haven't seen any construction at the end of Grafton Street, that's why. It's because they're still working through county-related issues. A follow-up letter of concern was sent to the county in reference to the Drill Tech property development. I know that's not in town, but it does work around some town, and we have some of our major well producers in that area.
That's the site just on the north side of town.
Correct, just on the other side of the old Rollerballs bus depot.
Right.
So anyway, Steve had sent an initial letter in the fall of 2021, so I followed it up last month with a letter to, again, talk about our concerns, and again with the new EPA regulation being out for public comment on PFAS and PFOS, we are certainly keeping our eyes on protecting all of our wellheads and areas around them. today with a follow-up call with the health department. Their on-site septic pretty much their on-site septic and well are approved. It meets all the county regulations, so they'll be signing off on that portion. The stormwater management portion, I think, is one that's gonna probably take a lot more in-depth detail, due to the, profile that this company does horizontal drilling. So we'll just keep our eye on that, and, we'll continue to keep the commission informed. We've, heard nothing further from, there's been nothing on any other development, and, so we just continue to follow Old Town and Equine Meadows and those things. And that's pretty much all I have.
Yeah,
If I
any
haven't,
thought on when Equine might be coming back in?
it's really gonna depend on when the county approves their stormwater management. That's gonna be the big part.
Boy, that's been a long time.
So that's all I have for not only zoning, but also, from the town itself. Be glad to take any questions if you have any.
Anybody have any questions for Alex on those issues?
Good to go.
Does that include the council report as well?
I think the only thing I'd add to the council, we continue to work on the FY24 budget. We have another budget hearing tomorrow night. One of the things that we hope to get accomplished in the spring under this current budget or move it into the next budget is the reconditioning of the York Street water tower. That's the major water project. We have a few other things in the hopper, but we'll just have to see the final approved budget from the council, and then we'll go forward from there.
Are they trying to hold rates steady?
Yes.
Good. Okay, next up is the report from the County Planning Department. Andrew?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a few things from the Carroll County Department of Planning. For the Transportation Master Plan, still working through draft chapters in the month of February, March, and April. The review has been on planned major streets. Today, in front of the Carroll County Planning and Zoning Commission, Mary brought Westminster and Mount Airy's planned major streets forward to the commission for review. Thank you. The Manchester, you all were the first to complete the planning annual reporting information. That all is ready to be sent to Maryland Department of Planning before their deadline. Hazard mitigation plan, the county has requested information from municipal staff for FEMA's required revisions so the draft can be submitted to FEMA. Updated requirements for the hazard mitigation plan will be going into effect in mid-April. So required modifications need to be made as soon as possible. The economic development and land use study, this study officially kicks off the first leg of the county's 2025 general development plan or comprehensive plan. This study is necessary so the county has an up-to-date evaluation of the county's current economic standing in the region, as well as understanding how the county is positioned to grow moving forward. The first workshop on this study was held on February 16th at Exploration Commons in Westminster, and a second public workshop will be held on April 27th at 5 p.m. at Exploration Commons, which is 50 East Main Street in Westminster. Information on the study can be found on the county Department of Planning webpage, and public participation is strongly encouraged. So if Mr. Town Manager, Mr. Councilman, and commission staff, if you would like to come over, it'd be nice to have you, and we'd look forward to your input. And that again is April 27th at 5 p.m. at Exploration Commons, which is 50 East Main Street in Westminster. And that is all with my report. If you all have any questions, I will be happy to answer them. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any questions for Andrew?
Andrew, do we have anything in the hopper for Route 30 just below Cape Horn Road, the farm on the right-hand side? It was up for I wouldn't say sale, but it appeared that they were gonna put some type of retail, and it's
Across-
gone now.
Across from CJ Miller,
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
like some metal beams laying on the grass there for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know of anything that would be going there. I haven't heard of anything. If I do, I can let you, I'll let you know.
Because for the longest time, they had they said pad sites or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Retail.
I think there were rumors going around too that was supposed to be a Royal Farms, but I haven't heard anything. And it looks like all those beams have been removed many months ago.
It's not going anywhere.
No?
No.
But once again, that was just a rumor I heard throughout the community, nothing from the county.
Thanks.
Not a problem.
Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome.
Good evening, Ms. Gillen. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm doing well. We received your email, so I did get a chance to review it. I didn't know if you wanted to come up and elaborate on any points. I know you're shy of a microphone, so.
In this environment, I feel nice to see you all. I'm Megan. That's my daughter, Madeline.
Nice
For
to meet
years,
you.
I've been complaining to my neighbor, Ryan Warner, and not complaining, but wondering what it would take to do sidewalks on Park Avenue there, and thinking just for safety, we love to walk as a family with the dogs, to go down to the Dutch Corner for breakfast, and it's kind of dangerous on that stretch if you've walked there. So just asking what that would entail for safety, of course, but also just for the downtown revitalization of trying to get residents to the downtown area to walk and not be having to drive down there and find parking. It seems like it could be a good option for that aspect of trying to, offer another opportunity for people to get down there without having to drive. Trying to figure out fiscally and financially how that would work. I know there's often grants to be used, but is there anything from my standpoint that we could do as a community to make that happen, or is this kind of like a not going to happen kind of a thing?
Well, I'll never say it's not going to happen, but the fiscal issue is probably the least concerning part of it from our perspective, because as a commission, what we generally do is we oversee development that's going on in the town and work on the town master plan in terms of what's in our water and sewer district if we want to bring more property into the town for an annexation. So as a commission, I'm not sure we have the authority to go mandate that a sidewalk be placed on other people's properties.
Right.
Town staff could look into it. The issues that we see, just preliminarily from reading your email today, is
Sure.
that somehow we would have to acquire a right-of-way or an easement across all the properties from Main Street to Bert Fowler. Because if they're not coming in for development where we would mandate that a sidewalk be placed, we would have to acquire an easement. And what might happen is a majority of property owners might just say no.
Right.
And then it becomes a question of how far do we push them, because eminent domain is never a very popular route to take, to go in and say, we're going to take an easement from you
Right.
because you don't want to grant us one, and we'll give you fair market value for it. So that's one issue that could be complicated. The second issue that's complicated is that when you install a sidewalk, it becomes the responsibility of the person who owns the property to maintain, shovel snow, repair the sidewalk. So people are taking on a cost when something like that happens. So like I said, I'm not sure our body is the one that really makes that decision. I've talked to Alex about it today, and Alex, you can pipe in here as well as what you might think about it.
It's a wonderful idea. It really is. But I will honestly admit, yes, cost will always be a factor. We also look at ADA compliance of those sidewalks. We had during the Main Street revitalization, we had to come back and have work redone to be ADA compliant, which is very important. The big thing is getting the people along Park Avenue on either side of the hill to give up that part of that land and take responsibility for that sidewalk. So never say never. With Equine Meadows coming in, when you come down Catholic Hill past the Catholic Church, the old livestock yard is slated for development, so that'll be a start. That'll get you up that far, and we can just continue to put it in the mayor's ear and see how it goes.
And that's a huge progress. If it goes from the equine farms there down, that helps.
Sure, yes.
Connect some spots there.
Now, you asked for what you could do.
Yes, if there's anything we can
if
do,
you want to
or if
approach-
you think this is good for Manchester, you know, if
Well,
this is a good idea.
honestly, in the ideal world, it'd be wonderful for Manchester to have access to those communities so people could walk into town
Yeah.
without having to worry about walking on somebody's grass or walking along the edge of the road. If you want to organize your community members to start knocking on doors and asking people if they're interested in putting a sidewalk,
That'd be a first step.
that would be a first
Okay.
step, because
Okay.
if you get a lot of resistance, then it might be,
Then you'll know people maybe don't want it.
Right.
Because I don't want to push something if people aren't interested in
Right.
that either. So maybe that could be a good step to see if people want that or not.
yeah.
Okay.
And since you are known, you know, people wouldn't be afraid to necessarily answer the door if you.
You'd be
knocked on
surprised.
it.
But maybe we can start there.
Yeah, I mean, I would think
Okay.
that would be where you probably want to start, just to gauge the interest of people along the route, because maybe we'd be surprised if we find that a lot of people would be interested in it.
And if they're not, I understand too. It's one of those, I just wanted to see what people thought, if they would be interested. So that's a good guideline.
I mean, I'm sure the merchants in town would appreciate it if that happened, because like you said, it would provide accessibility.
Yeah,
for
I'd let the
people.
kids walk to the bus stop to get ice cream, down by the Dutch
Right.
Corner.
Oh,
But
yeah.
right now, I would never let them, so.
Yeah, understood.
Thank you for listening.
Oh,
And that's a
our
good
pleasure.
guide of where to go from here.
Yeah.
Appreciate
What,
it.
what did the mayor say to you?
He just smiles and says, "Oh, but I thought, how do you be taken
So
seriously
he
if I
pushed-
haven't
he
given the
pushed
time
you
to
to
come?"
us.
Well, he didn't. He always listened, and I thought I need to take the initiative if I really think that this would be nice
Yeah.
to be serious about it and see if
I think
we
as
can
you
do it.
come out of your development on Washington Way at Park Avenue, you start working your way up towards the bottom of the hill, working your way down around the side towards Burt Fowler. I mean, that certainly gives a little bit more. It's a start.
Sure.
It gets it going that way.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Our
Appreciate it.
pleasure. Any other business for the commission tonight? If not, I'll take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I guess so. Meeting's adjourned.